Hi, welcome back to our channel. I'm not sure if you've been here before, if this is the first time. Either way, welcome. I do hope that while you're here you will click the subscribe button and ring the bell for notifications. We do upload every Thursday and Sunday. I wanted to do a video on my project pan. I had done a project pan previously and it failed horribly. Most of the products I didn't enjoy using, or I just didn't have that type of day that I could use it all the time, so I felt like I was just failing at my project pan. I had something similar happen. I did a shop my stash and I failed completely because I picked things that I didn't enjoy reaching for, and I picked things that I didn't particularly like the way they worked, and so I would not touch that drawer the whole time I did my makeup. So I think I kind of flipped it and did the opposite of how you should do it, but I am going to do another shop my stash for you. I'm going to be a little bit different how I do it now that I've done it more. And so I do have to give credit for this video. This video is 100% in credit to another YouTuber named Jacks Lorraine. She actually did a beautiful pan challenge, which I will link below and in the end cards. And she did a beautiful pan challenge for 2019, and I think she hasn't done updates since then too. But she broke it down in categories. She gave 11 categories, and she invited everyone to do the challenge with her and kind of go on that journey. Her categories, for me, help me actually individualize it and make it so that I will actually reach for those products. And thus far, I've been doing it since, I think, the end of February or the first week of March. And so far, it's been working great. I've used, I think, at least 3/4 of the items on a regular basis that entire time. So this was like the perfect solution for what I needed for my pan. And I want to start using makeup. My collection has actually grown way too big. It's bigger than I would personally like it. I have foundations and different things that aren't perfect or aren't something I necessarily care about. I don't want to waste the money, so I do want to find ways to use those. So without further ado, her list is actually, it seems to me, it's kind of common sense in the sense that, like, it's easy to do these because of what she suggests, and they're not really that far-fetched or that difficult. But she came up with these, and they're absolutely amazing because they make you stop and think about your collection. There's at least 2 or 3 items in here that I would have never thought to put in a pan because of their value or my emotional connection to them or whatever. However, the way she puts it, and like she says, you know, you can love it while you're using it. You don't have to waste it. And that's not a direct quote, but that's basically what she talked about. So I do encourage you to go check out her channel. She's just amazing. She does a lot with pans and things like that. She also has a few declutter videos and, you know, makeup reviews, and she just is a really awesome channel, and she just seems like a really genuinely nice person too as well. Without further ado, let's start going through her list. I did make a list of them. So the first one is old or near expiration, and I did choose one that's not like expiring tomorrow or anything else, but it is the original Born This Way concealer. I actually really like this concealer. It's nice and creamy, and it's easy to use. It's easy with multiple foundations, whether it's luminous or matte. It typically works really good and blends really well. So that was something that I kept reaching for other ones I was testing and different things, and that kind of helped me move in and hone that item for that reason. The next one is a challenge. So this is an item that she explains as something you normally wouldn't reach for. Something that is in your drawer and you either have trouble using it or you don't care to use it, it's not with your preferences or things like that. I also include in that is something that I just have some other option that I like more, so it kind of gets pushed to the back of the drawer, and this is making me use it. So for me, this is a Morphe blush palette that I have. I can't talk today. It is in the blush Trio de Blush Pop of Rose, and it looks like this. So this shade over here I will never be able to use. It will get wasted. But these two I can use in conjunction with each other or alone, and they look really good. I'm actually wearing those two today. I do have a little bit of another one over it just to kind of give it a little bit more pop, but it is the one I'm wearing, and it is definitely makes it easy to use when it's in the back of your head or in your, you know, daily consciousness that you're trying to use that product versus something else, and I have found myself reaching for this more. So the next one is Walk the Plank. So this is an item that you're trying to decide if you're going to use it or declutter it, or, you know, what is good. And you're really trying to make your mind up on it, so you're trying to use it more in order to do that. So for me, it was the Beauty Rust by Colored Raine. This palette is really beautiful. It's out of my comfort zone personally. Not because, I mean, it has neutrals, it has everything else, but the reds and the other dark colors are very dark in their red versus or maroon. And so for me, I bought it wanting to kind of step out of my comfort zone and use more color, and then every time I use it, The shades blend amazing. They do a great job. I really do love Raine. I have some of their single shadows as well. But I find personally that it just doesn't look as good as my other shadows due to the color family. And so I want to use it and decide that. As of right now, I'm probably going to declutter it and give it to family. I'll decide at the end of the month for sure, but I'm just not having a lot of success with it. And again, it's not the brand, it's the palette with me. The next one is Love and Want to Enjoy. So this is one that made me really pull out of my comfort zone for what I felt comfortable putting in a pan. This is an item that either you're saving because you want to make it last, or it's expensive and you don't want to use it because it's expensive and you want it to last, things like that. So I actually did my Givenchy. This is the Teint Couture Shimmer Powder in Shimmery Pink. Looks like that, and the product looks like that. It actually reminds me a lot of the Wet n Wild is in the similar shade. It has, honestly, really close usage as well, so I would not repurchase this, but I do want to use it. I paid for it. Next is a product you don't love. So for me, this one, I actually thought of this pretty easy. This was not one that I worked very hard to figure out. It is the Revlon Candid Antioxidant Concealer, and it is in the 015 shade, which is light pale. So for me, I love this foundation, the Candid foundation. It is one of the best foundations that I have found for me when I'm going to work and I'm not putting on, you know, everything in the world. I just want it to look better or improved. It smooths my skin. It makes it look natural and healthy, and it's a really good foundation. However, the other two products in that line, the Candid Concealer and the Candid Powder, I do not care for. The powder is a very thick grain of powder, and it has horrid flashback. Like, if we were to quote James Charles, it's Flashback Mary. It was literally the worst powder I've ever used for flashback. And this concealer, I really don't care for. It's pretty easy to blend overall, but if you put any other product near it, it picks up and shifts and moves instead of saying where you put it. So I personally don't care for it, but I am trying to use it and get it out of my drawer. So the next one is a product that fits the current season. So this one I kind of struggled with, I'll be honest. It was difficult for me to pick a product that was seasonal for winter, because in winter, other than maybe going a little bit darker or things like that, we don't have anything that I consider traditionally for winter. And then I was looking at my drawer and I realized I had the this is L'Oreal True Match Lumi Glotion Natural Glow Enhancer, and this is in Fair Glow. So this is a very moisturizing primer. I actually a lot of times will put it over another primer that I'm using, and I think that was a good fit for that category because I do use more moisturizing things in winter. I never get oily, but in summer, just sweating and things like that, I do use lighter moisturizing in that time. So I thought that was perfect. So next on her list, and again, these are all Jacks Lorraine. I did not write these myself. I'm doing hers. Next on the list is a product that you've forgotten about or neglected. This one, again, was pretty easy for me. I did, sorry, my hair has its own life today. I chose my Makeup Forever HD foundation. When I got this foundation, I stopped using every other foundation. I literally loved it. And then I started buying more and collecting more, and my next one I was obsessed with is Laura Mercier. I still love her, both of her foundations I have. But this just kept sitting there, and so I decided to put that in because it does expire in about 3 months or so, and so I want to get as much use as I could before it expires. However, what's interesting about it is that I think I forgot how good this looks. It is one of the best foundations that I have ever used. And I got turned on to this through Ipsy. I got a sample in my Ipsy bag, and I was like going store to store, where can I get that foundation? So it's just a beautiful finish. Next is an easy product. So this is a product that either you use pretty frequently or it's already getting close to pan. So I chose my IT Cosmetics Bye Bye Pores. And I did show this in my previous failed pan challenge. The use in the pan's getting a little bit deeper. I actually love this bronzer. I think that I could get rid of almost all my other bronzers and just use this one. I do rotate in order for testing and things like that, or, you know, trying them out. But this one just is perfect for my skin tone. It literally just blends into the skin. It makes it look good, and it just looks like sun-kissed. It doesn't look, you know, orange or anything else. So it really is a beautiful product, and I enjoy using it. Next is a product or brand you no longer use. So this one, well, this one's a little bit deeper to explain. So I did choose the Kiss Me lip. These are like little liquid lipsticks. They're lippies, and it looks like that. I actually was a member. This Kiss Me, if you're not aware, is a subscription box by Live Glam. They actually have 3, and it is the Lippies Morphe brushes, which is called Morphe Me, or Shadow Me, which is an eye palette subscription set. They say in the description that you receive a palette every other month. The Live Glam Lippies and brushes are every month. And so I signed up. I initially signed up for 1 month of each. I was very happy with them. That the shadow was fine. The Lippies were okay. And then the brushes were great. But then I went back and subscribed. I think the Lippies I did 3 months. The brushes I did 6 months. And the Shadow Me was for 3 months. And the other shadow was never being released. They sent me the one from summer or late spring of last year in September. And then we're getting in October, we're getting in November, we're getting in December, and there's no palette. And so I personally have a problem with any company that collects my money but doesn't update me on shipping, doesn't tell me when it's going to ship, just keeps it months and, whatever. So I did cancel that and got my money back for those 3 months. And they did have no problem giving me a refund for the months that weren't used, so I do appreciate that. They're definitely, reputable in that way. And then the Lippies, I actually canceled when that 3 months was up because they smear and they're difficult to use. Like, I do think I'll go through this faster just for the sheer fact they're difficult to use, and they do smear and you have to fix them constantly. And then when you go to fix it later on, it's like starting fresh. You have to start all over in that process. So I didn't care for the Lippies. I did keep the Morphe brushes, the Brush Me. You get 3 to 5 brushes every month. I did keep until the 6 months ran out, but I started seeing like duplicates. Even if they didn't have the same number, they're very similar shapes. Like, I have so many Morphe brushes now because of that subscription box. So it did build my brush collection, but I was done. I didn't need any more. So that is the one for a brand new, no longer used. Discontinued or limited edition is number 10. And I did choose I think this is still for sale as of now, but they're not creating it or manufacturing anymore. And this is the Tarte Pineapple. So this has, on one side, face products, and on the other side, it has, if the thing will work with me, eye products. And so I actually love Tarte's formulation for their eyeshadows. I love the scent. I love the blending. I love everything about them. I didn't find this to have any different, people always talk about that the special editions don't have the same formula as their normal. I didn't find that to be true with this at all. I do enjoy using it, but I do store it differently because of the big bulky shape. I do store it in a different place. I store it up on a shelf, and so I do forget I have it sometimes, and I don't want it to go bad, and I don't want to waste it. So the last item is a Wildcard. This can be anything in your collection that you would like to use and start to get out of your collection, or just use before it expires. So that I chose Makeup Forever. This is the hydrating base, and this is the primer. This is one, again, that I liked. It works great. It's very moisturizing, but I forgot I even had it because I started getting more drugstore and name brand primers. So that is my 11. I am going to do updates bi-monthly. I just don't think every month I'm going to use enough product in order to have it be noticeable. I did forget when I first started this to mark my products and where they're at, so I will be putting those in and taking pictures and everything today so I have a comparison. Again, this video is 100% credited to Jacks Lorraine. I did get the idea from her video and wanted to join in that pan challenge. I thought it was fantastic that she did that, and really put, some background or some reasoning behind why we're picking products, and I think that's amazing. She also has on her channel tips for helping you pan or helping you get through product, which I think is amazing as well, because me personally, I never thought I would ever pan or do any of these challenges, but now that my makeup collection has grown, I do want to start working through and using more items. So I hope that you've enjoyed this video. I hope that you will check out Jacks Lorraine. And then also, by the way, I think Jacks Lorraine, I think her name is Jackie, but her actual YouTube is Jacks Lorraine. So I do hope that you will click the subscribe button and ring the bell for notifications. We do upload every Thursday and Sunday, and we do have coming Ipsy openings and unbaggings. I do BoxyCharm. I am doing my pan challenge. I have a Shop My Stash in the works. I don't know if it'll be up when this video goes up or if it's going after, but I do have a video actually documenting my tattoos at you guys' request. I just have a lot more as a mom and as a consumer to show. So if you're interested in those type of videos, make sure you subscribe. So I hope you have a great day, and if you have any questions, or if you're working on a pan challenge, comment below how you picked your items. Did you have a system, like a procedure, or it was just items you wanted to use, or how did you pick them, and how successful was it for you? Because when I did it randomly, I epically failed. So I'm just curious how other people do it. And if you have any tips for the panning your makeup, please comment below, because I personally can use them. I'm new to it, but also I think other people will too. So I hope you see you soon, and I hope you have a fantastic day.